this is taken by Carlos Diaz. I didn't take this picture, but the ship is the same ship that come over my house, in front of me and Michelle in April the 17th at 1:15 in the morning. The one, there was a star and then appeared over the house as a ship, and it was 4 houses long, and it was so low over the house. It just didn't feel far above the roof of the house, and it was blue and white, where this is orange and yellow.
As a point of reference, you were actually seeing the same pictures, the same craft as photographed by Carlos Diaz in Mexico.
That's what got me and you talking, wasn't it, in Woodbridge?
That's right.
What year was this, Vanessa? It's good to mention the year. When you quote a date like April 17th, you should say what year it was.
2001.
Yeah, I just want to mention my friend. She was in the UK, in Avebury, and I think it was like probably 2014. But she saw this ship, this type of ship. So they, I just want to mention that they do appear in the UK besides Mexico.
Yeah. Wow. Because I wasn't alone when I saw this, and I'll never forget it. It was amazing. While it was hovering above us, no sound, nothing, and I just said, wow. I stood in awe, and the glass made its own light. You have to see it to believe it, and I will never forget it, ever.
When I was in Mexico in 1999, I actually went to Tepoztlan, the village in the mountains where Carlos Diaz lives. I actually went to his house. But while I was there, I actually did see one of his craft on top of the mountain. And I would struggle to describe the colours. It was so beautiful. Yeah. And it was just changing colour and pulsating, and it just looked absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it pulsated, and it had like you get a worktop that's made of marble, and you get the vein lines running through it. This had these veins running through it like marble through the glass. It still had all these panels of main light, but it pulsed and almost breathed with the light. It was a fabulous sight.
Well, they're actually alive. They're actually being, whereas the other types of ships are, they're not, they're not mechanical, but they're, they're not live, right?
Yeah, these aren't your solid metal type ship crafts. They are one with their ship. They are the ship, and that's what I think come over my brother's house.
People do say that they believe the ships in these instances are perhaps living organisms.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say. But there's like this electricity energy about them, which showed in the photos of my brother's, and I've had loads since, and I feel really happy that everybody is catching up with and getting that, that the ships and the beings are all one, like one organism. It's a real sigh of relief that I don't feel like I'm going mad.
Also, I think these types of ships, they're from inner Earth. They're not, from space. So there are many civilizations in inner Earth, including the reptilians. A lot of that information is coming out now from different sources, and but these ships, they come from that volcano. I think Ian was talking about, right? So they're, they're part of the planet, basically.
Yeah.
Petra, where are you actually?
I'm not that far from Brian, but Brian's in Vancouver. I'm in the interior of British Columbia.
Okay. Yeah, because Tepoztlan is the other side of what they call the volcano, the Popocatépetl volcano in Mexico, and that is quite an active area for UFOs. We discussed that last week or before. There are lots of UFOs that are seen on there, and actually, if you look on the internet, you can see a lot of screenshots that have been taken on the volcano monitoring closed circuit TVs, which have actually captured these craft. When I was in Mexico, first of all, in 1995, I met up with people who had got their own monitoring volcano, and they captured strange things. In fact, the one time, the guy showed me a picture, and we could only explain it as a large American type eagle, bald eagle, but it would have been much too big for an eagle. It was huge, but he captured it near the volcano.
Yeah, well, the eagle is an important symbol for a lot of the ET races. I just wanted to mention too, I think when I was researching this, the Carlos Diaz case a little bit, I mean, I'm not talking about really, in-person kind of interviews, but I saw there was a connection between that information and what Drunvalo Melchizedek, he related some experiences where he actually was contacted by that civilization. I feel it's the same civilization, but also there's a connection with the selenite. Somehow they have I believe they have a connection with the selenite, the type of rock, mineral, and there's huge in the caverns in Mexico. I think it's more in the south area where they found these huge caverns with these massive, pieces of selenite. So a funny thing, when my friend saw that UFO in Avebury, she was carrying selenite with her in her backpack.
Oh wow!
I think the thing is, it's always good when people can see correlation of another person's experiences, another person's craft experiences. But I just wanted to make a comment, if that's okay, just say that Vanessa's experiences are just so wide-ranging over such a wide-ranging number of interventions of beings in normal day life, let's say extraordinary non-human interactions with her in normal everyday life. But then there's the light phenomena, the craft, the abductions, the reptilians, the strange ethereal dogs that you saw, the predator creature that you saw in the forest. All of these are so many strange things, and even the clown puppet. That sort of is just so weird, but it's just all these things, and we've probably missed off half of them already. But there's so much that goes on in Vanessa's life with her children and her brother, and perhaps even including her father at some stage as well.
It's picked up for Martin this week as well. He's called me in a panic because his son, he tries to keep all these things away from his children, because the minute Martin starts talking about anything, it starts picking up again. So he tries to keep things on low key because he don't need it. And his son come running to him the other day, and he said, and his son's only 6, just turned 6. He said, Dad, there's a black man on my bed. So Martin said, you what? He said, I've grabbed Brooklyn. We had to run. There's a black man on my bed. So Martin went, what are you talking about? So Martin went in there to check, and there was nothing in there. So he said, well, describe him. What was his face like? And he said, it's black. So Martin said, well, what was he wearing? He said, it was black. 6-year-old mind was a shadow being man standing on his bed. And that was the terminology from a 6-year-old. Dad, there's black man standing on my bed. So my brother's a bit concerned that activity is like keeping up at his. He's been hearing noises along the hallway, and he's getting up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to make sure that the kids are safe. But he knows he's lived what I've been through, so he knows. So he's been unsettled all week.
Can I just say there's, you know, there's definitely a lot of interest here from different races. The beings that are Carlos Diaz type of beings,
Yeah,
I think they're very positive. So they
yeah.
may be, you know, trying to uplift the situation or whatever. But I think the reptilian agenda is central here. So uh, is Savannah, can I ask you, like, can, if you're willing, can you just talk about a little bit about your kind of life and your plans, and also I was wondering if there had been any instances where you've been kind of guided, things kind of opened up that were kind of unexpected, like in your plans for life, where you, like, you know, given some opportunities kind of thing.
Cool. I don't know if I've had things open up for me as such. Do you reckon, Mum?
They do, but you know what? You think about it for a bit, you get a little passion for it, but then it's not enough for you, and you go the other way because it's not that yet. It's like it's not come along. That's that.
Yeah,
Something else going on.
It's very strange, isn't it? For me, I mainly it's mainly been that with pregnancies and miscarriages for me mainly, and like the bruises and the markings on the legs and stuff. I feel like they contact me a lot in. You have to bear with me today. I've got the worst migraine.
Life has hit you with a lot of challenges, and you're always having to deal with these challenges. But I think the challenges are set at you for you to react and grow from, and they monitor how you deal with it.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's been mainly fearful for me because a lot of it's just been I'd say experimental mainly. The hybrid side, my hearing and my sight and my senses and that being really, really sensitive and really heightened. I do have a very good knowing. I do just seem to know things. I don't know why. I don't know how. I just know. I usually get a little heads up when things are going to happen, but not always when I want it to, which is really annoying. It's usually really random and some random little things, like what Mum said. Like she'll know if someone's going to fall over, if they're going to have an accident. I'll say, don't do that because that's going to happen. Boom, it happens. One of my little party tricks. So, if someone tries to wind me up or do something spiteful out of fun, I usually just give them a look, and karma gets them in that moment. They'll trip or they'll drop something or accidentally hurt themselves, but it just always works for me. I never have to do anything. I just give them a smack. They do it
That
themselves.
is true. She does it over the camera as well.
I do love it. It's quite funny. I think
Any sense of what they call shape shifting?
what, myself?
Yeah.
Oh, black eyes.
Like teeth coming out longer than they're supposed to be, kind of thing.
Sorry?
There's some videos of people who have had this type of experience where somehow their teeth come out, like they're, you know, the fang thing.
Oh, I see that.
Longer. You do that. I thought you did
No.
that at the beginning. I thought there was a frame at the beginning where that happened.
Well, if it does happen, I haven't noticed. The only thing that I have noticed in myself is my eyes. They'll go black, like jet black. That happens with high emotion, especially if I'm angry. If I'm angry or upset, boom, they'd go black. And then it got to a point where I never actually knew I'd do it. I never knew about it until other people would say to me, your eyes change color when you're angry or you're upset. And I'm like, no, they don't. Like, surely I'd see that. But I've never looked at myself while being angry, not in the eyes like that.
No, people normally run the other way.
Yeah, but then I did notice it. And when I'd be upset or in high emotion, I would go and have a look myself and I would see it. And I remember at one point I would do it like a party trick, and I'd look into the mirror and I would focus on my eyes and I'd imagine them changing color. And it would almost be like a cat's eye. You know, when a cat's eye would expand, it'd almost be like that, and it'd just go black, but it'd just be where the color is. So it'd go from brown to black, and that'd just be all of it. Yeah, that's probably been the only shape-shifting, I'd say.
Oh, it's a start, eh? Oh, that's great. You know, there's people coming out with, you know, kind of supporting each other. Have you, you know, have you been interested in, you know, joining up with other people who have these kind of experiences, and
Yeah.
you know, seeing what they're about? And there's kind of a movement, I think, you know.
Yeah, I love meeting like people who have similar things or have strange things like that as well. It's nice not to be the only one. But I've had about six miscarriages, and I've met 5 of the 6 of my children. So that I feel like that's my main purpose with them, is just breeding. It's really selfish, but here we are. My last ones were twins, so I technically have 7. But the only reason I felt like I was able to meet the first 3 was because one of them was, I think, was dying, and they couldn't help it, so they picked me for that. The last ones I got to see, I think, because they were my first twins. I've never had twins before, and I'm actually a twin, so I consumed my twin technically. We grew as one in a womb. So I do carry the twin gene. And I asked them, because I woke up with like triangular bruising on the inside of my legs, and usually when I found them, or when I found bruising on the either side of my knees, I kind of know it's them. And when I see that, I wasn't sure if they'd put something in or took something out, so I was asking, like, was I pregnant? Because I didn't actually know at the time. And then I had a dream where they shoo me them in like a makeshift womb. It was like a room, but they were in like a floating like sack type thing, but they were cuddling each other, and the room was all like red, and it was like what you could imagine being on the inside of a womb to look like, with a bit of light coming through the outside. It's the best way I can explain it. And for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, I was just in there, and it was silent. It's imagine like being underwater kind of sound, but with a silence as well. It was weird. It was just a weird sound, a weird feeling. And they took me out of a normal dream to see that, because I'd asked if I was pregnant or not, and I wanted to know. But then I knew in my dream that that wasn't part of my dream. Because I was in the car. Yeah, I was in a car in my dream talking to my friend, and then I got taken out of this car, and literally just the screen just switched. I was inside this womb, and I was like, wow, just looking at these these two babies, but they were really, considering I had only just fell pregnant, they looked like they were ready to be birthed. So they must have sped it up so much in about a space of a week. But then I remember going back into my normal dream and I was like, I just went somewhere. Oh my God, I just went somewhere. And that's me in my dream. Like, usually if there's a dream, you just kind of go along with it. But I knew that wasn't part of my dream whilst being in my dream.
Yeah,
But
can
yeah.
I just say something to Sav?
Mhm.
The most of the people involved in the hybrid baby programs seem to fall pregnant for about 3 months or up to 3 months, and then they're not pregnant suddenly. And then sometimes the baby seems to have been taken and put into an artificial womb on board the craft.
Yeah.
Rapid growth.
Yeah,
And then
that's what
when the child is born, it grows very, very quickly, very, very fast. That's how a lot of people related the phenomenon to me.
But that's for the greys. I haven't heard any kind of, the way it is for reptilians, though. I mean, it could be similar, isn't it?
most
Is
of my
it for the
experience
greys?
is greys.
Yeah, Sav's experiences are with the greys, 3 greys usually, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't get the reptilians. I get the greys. Always have.
Okay.
But it's Sav's brothers who have seen the reptilians, I believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ree saw the one in the tree, Vanessa was saying. So I think that's really significant compared to Jeff's experience. Jeff's always had this spiritual relationship with the Greys. And Vanessa and her family have more relationship with the reptilians, seems to be more the dark side. That's why this is so powerful and a fascinating scientific area to study the differences in the Grey relationship and the reptilian relationship. Like Saab saying, you just saw more reptilians in your dreams. You never actually saw one. Whereas Reese saw one right in the tree, right? Several times, like Vanessa jumping from tree to tree. What about Jerome? Does Jerome have reptilian experiences?
He has 3-foot saucer-eyed beings. So he's a completely different. They would step out in front of him. He's fell off his bike. Do you remember we was eating KFC in the front room and he pushed Daniel over? He tried to get in from the garden. He climbed over his friend to get away from the being in the garden. We were all witnessing this. He broke out in sweat. I mean, he see this with his eyes. The reptilians would come for Reese in his bedroom, as well as in the woods and as well as being the trees. He said he'd wake up, and if one ran quickly, he said that was up to no good. But if that would stand there staring at him, he felt like there was a communication or something going on. So that wasn't a bad one. So there are 2 vibes going on with the reptilians, although no one has actually hurt him. So I can't say that they're bad, but the vibes are bad.
So maybe it's a family relationship, a clan. They don't hurt him because maybe he's got reptilian genes. He's one of them. They want to call. And also, Sav, which one is your twin? Which one is your twin?
She consumed him.
I am my twin.
You mean you had a twin that died at birth?
Yeah, no.
In the
She
womb.
absorbed him.
We grew as one. I have a line down my stomach where one shade is darker and the other shade of my stomach is lighter, and it's a perfect straight line.
So you're saying when Vanessa gave birth to you, there was a twin that died?
Yeah, but when it died very early on, so when I'm growing, the cells of the other one, the twin, they merge into one. I think they call it chimera or something.
Yeah.
Now I should mention here in Vancouver Island, we have Sebastian Martin. I've done a video with him. He was Palladian in his last lifetime in 1976. He was placed in his mother's womb, and there was already a fetus there that died, and a similar thing. He kind of encompassed that fetus. So that fetus died, and he was born in 1976. His name's Sebastian Martin, He's got some YouTube videos as well.
Oh,
But he's had a really positive playing experience. He's a multimillionaire, sort of the flower of manhood. He's born in France, very good looking, like a Palladian, very successful, a dynamic life. Interesting, but he was placed in his mother's womb after the other fetus, a natural fetus.
I have a question for Sab. Sab, this is Mimi. Hi. Hi. I don't mean to be rude, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not being rude. I was using 3 kinds of birth control when I got pregnant. So, you know, I'm not meaning to be rude, but I wanted to ask you if you get pregnant while you're on birth control, or if you have agreed to have these babies and so you don't use any.
I've done both. I've fell pregnant on birth control. I've fell pregnant not on it. There's been times that I've missed tablets when I've been on it, you see.
And you get pregnant very quickly then.
Yeah.
If you
But there's been times that I haven't been on it for, like, I haven't been on it now for a good 2 years or so. And I've been pregnant twice in those 2 years.
Right. But if this causes you so much pain and anguish, why are you allowing it to happen?
I don't really feel like I have a choice. I mean, I've tried to tell them no, because I would like to have a child of my own, trust me. But we just don't seem to be on any agreements. So I don't really know how to really go about that.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess birth control would be one way. You know, you could start by taking birth control and saying, no, I don't want you to do this anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
I had one that I lost, and it's a very painful thing. I've never seen the baby or anything, but it was very painful at the time when it happened, you know.
Yeah.
And then I was allowed to have 3 children, so I have my children.
Oh, they haven't allowed me. So
Yeah,
I'm
Mimi.
still waiting for that.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Big hugs.
oh.
Something I wanted to mention, Sav, you said that you noticed these finger marks on your arms, which again is quite commonplace for abductees to suddenly find that they've got these finger marks that are left by the abductors.
That was my left arm.
Usually 3 of them, and they're long fingers.
Yeah, really long.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but you can actually buy these UV light torches now from Amazon, and you can shine them onto your arm and actually see, because very often people will say that the marks are left by, and they're visible by UV light. So sometimes the kind of UV light that you see on the hotel inspector and those sort of things, where they scan
that's
the bed,
interesting.
they can actually pick up scorpions and those sort of things as well. So you can actually buy those now. They're available on Amazon, and then you could perhaps have a look and shine on your arms sometimes if you suspect it. You see what's happening.
Keep an eye out. I like that idea.
Observation there. Vanessa, when you were setting up earlier with the photographs, I was trying to remember, did you tell me that you had experience with an owl while you were driving, or something strange had happened? What am I giving this model that was no?
I have. I get owls around me a lot. I could be driving a car and they fly beside my car, and I think they're fabulous. But they sit on Connor's windowsill and wake him up at night.
That's right, because
yeah,
the incidence of owls in UFO experiences is quite well known now. Mike McClelland, an author, has written a book called The Messengers, and he's actually followed that up now with another book about the Messengers, detailing abductees' experiences with owls, and usually very large owls, or owls that are closer than they would normally be.
I was sat, in my dining room. Sorry, I was sat at by the window, and it was daytime, and I was with a friend, and the white one come flying. It looked like it was going to come through the window, but then it swerved up and went up. But for daytime, that was a surprise. That's right, Petra. Go ahead.
Isn't there you know, these are just screen images, because they can, especially the Greys, they have a facility with holographic inserts. They can change reality. So because the owl has some kind of a energetic similarity to them, they use it to shield, you know, awareness of their actual appearance. So that's what I believe about the owls and the association here with the owls.
So Petra, you don't want to show your face for the audience?
I'm not, you know, I'm not presentable.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So, but another thing, certainly, you know, from what I've researched, that there's an agenda between the Greys and the reptilians, the Dracos. So it would seem that they're somehow facilitating. Well, I mean, I'm not certain, but it seems possible that they're facilitating, because they have all this you know, knowledge and the ability to do all these hybridization now. So I was wondering if there might be facilitating, they're helping their allies, the reptilians, with hybridization, you know.